Well, since it's a lovely day outside and not much going on today, just holding the steering wheel on the way out to Illinois, I want to tell you guys a little story, and it's kind of a reason to try to, or as much as you stay up on your paperwork, your compliance, everything, no matter if you're one truck or 100 trucks, there's always outside forces with the trucking industry that can cause a problem for you. So the issue's resolved now, so I wanted to wait till it was resolved till I spoke on it, because I didn't know honestly what was going to happen. So I've recently moved, well, not recently, but I've moved, but I still own my old property, getting the house ready for sale and the garage cleaned out and everything. But so I still have a mailbox there, and I get mail to my new address as well. So I go to my house, my old place, and get the mail one day, and I have a letter from the FMCSA that says that they are going to revoke my authority because I don't have insurance on file. And if you guys have done this before, you know that to get your insurance on file with the FMCSA, the company that your insurance company has to submit the paperwork. You can't do it yourself. It has to come directly from the insurance company. So I'm, sending messages, because I've had such a great experience with my insurance company that I was like, there's just gotta be something just had to happen. I've had such a great experience, and my questions were answered right away. They would call me back right away. They'd give me quotes right away on like hiring drivers, and everything has just been so good. So I reach out and I don't hear anything back. So I thought it was a little weird, because the guy's always been on top of it. Well, took a day or two, finally got someone, him and another person, on an email, us three on an email together, and they have a third party do their filings. I don't understand it, but anyways, there's a third party that does their filings. Something must have been wrong with it. Well, come to find out, there was an issue, but they never reached out to say anything. The issue was they wanted to see proof that I had insurance on a vehicle. Those vehicles that were previously on my insurance policy that got violations that are no longer on my policy, like my Chevy. I still own it, it's still insured, just not commercially because it's off the road. That's all it was. So finally get that, and they're like, well, the filings take 3 to 5 days or X amount of days, and I'm like, okay, well, and I need this to be expedited as quick as possible, because if my authority's revoked, I'm essentially out of business till something happens. I can't operate. So every day I'm sitting there, I'm worrying. Wake up one morning, check my safer, not authorized. So my operating authority was revoked. I call them right away, and I'm like, hey, you guys just put me out of business. I've already paid up to this point, I've already paid about 2 months of insurance as I changed to them from Progressive. 2 or 3 months that I've already paid. So I'm like, you guys already have money from me for 2 to 3 months. Now it was 2 months. I already paid 2 months. Third month was due. I was like, you guys aren't gonna get a dime until this is fixed, because you put me out of business. 24 hours, I think it was like a Friday. So I was like, you know what? I was like, there's nothing I can do right now. They know, they submitted the paperwork, see what happens. So about 3 o'clock on that Friday, I get a call from somebody I've never talked to before, who handled it, got it taken care of, and she said, it'll probably be live this weekend with my authority reactivated, but just check Saturday, check Sunday, see what happens, and you should be good to go. I was like, okay, I can do that, that's fine. It is what it is. If it's going to be taken care of by Monday, I'm okay. So sure enough, Saturday afternoon, I hop on, check, I'm authorized again. So another company almost put me out of business from not submitting paperwork. Had I never got that letter from the FMCSA in the mail, I would have never known, and I could have been out on the road, got pulled over, and not been able to operate for hire and got in some serious trouble for that. But if you guys don't know, you can check your standings with the FMCSA. It's called SAFER, S-A-F-E-R, Company Snapshot. And you can look up any company to see if they're authorized. Like if you're trying to hire somebody for transport, you can see if they're authorized for property, or you can check to make sure a broker has authority and is bonded through there. So I figured I'd tell you that story since it's kind of a slow day, and let you know the struggles. Alrighty, well, when I said I was delivering to the middle of nowhere, I kind of meant that. So thankfully I've been here because I picked up from this farm before, so I know where I'm going. The only bad thing is, if you guys have watched my video before when I picked up from here, the driveway was a swamp, and we're kind of heavy. Like, see that sign right there? Weight limit 10 tons, over 10 tons. But this is the only road in, and there's no bridge or anything, so nothing I have to really worry about. Anyways, so I texted a guy and asked if we were unloading where he loaded me before, which is in the back through the swamp, and he said yes, so it should be fun. We're getting ready to pull up here in about half a mile. And let's see if we can try and not get stuck, because these tires are just about at the end of their life. I think once we get back from, I think I'm gonna hold out excuse me, after the Florida trip next week. I think they're legal. I think we're gonna hold out and put new ones on when we get back from Florida. I'm gonna go ahead and order a set and have them waiting at the house. Don't know what I'm going to order yet, but we'll see what happens there. But, and this guy's driveway's tight to get into. We'll be all right. Let's see. The rain. I've been driving through the rain all day or all morning. I've been up since about 3:30, and we're facing west right now, and the sky's starting to get a little dark over there. Really hoping to get this off the trailer before the skies opened up, so I can get these straps rolled up and these chains put away. Start to see the farm here on the see the cows here. This is the gentleman's house. So I hope he's got something big enough to unload this stuff to, because it's heavy. Let's, you know what, driveway ain't actually that bad this time here yet. There's some right up here, but all this was covered with mud and a swamp. So you see the puddle here. Gonna make sure we don't hit this building on the left. Drag the jacks a little bit. I hope those forks are long enough there, buddy. We'll see. At least I got enough equipment here to unload. They're just gonna pick it up and I'm just gonna pull out from underneath of it. Everything's unstrapped and unchained and ready to go. You know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Stolen recovery van. Need it moved on the trailer. This trailer doesn't have a winch. You improvise. Well, that went well. Hobo freight winch is killing it. And truck needs front brakes before we go to Florida next week.